Hi, this is Norm Allen with you from TV 18 Life Around the Lake. I want to thank you all for the great support that you've offered in these early days as we've begun revitalizing Channel 18 to become a definition of what life is like here on Lake of the Woods. It's such a great place to live with great supporters and great fans. We've had overwhelming support from all of you, not only financially, but also the people who've come by and who have programs on our channel, and just said how much it means to them to see new programs. We hope you'll continue that support. If you're not supporting us now financially, because again, we are self-sufficient, it all depends on you if this programming is to continue. All you have to do is go to FLOW, Friends of Lake of the Woods, a 501c3. You may make contributions directly by mail, or you can call someone and we'll be glad to get with you and answer any questions you may have. All of that information, of course, is on the screen for you. For all you businesses, there's our Partners in Progress program, then we'll be glad to discuss that with you as well. We hope you'll continue to contribute. We hope you'll continue to support and invest in a better lifestyle for us right here at Lake of the Woods. In the meantime, this is Norm Allen thanking you so much for all your support, your faith, and your enthusiasm in supporting TV 18, Life Around the Lake, where the stories are all about you.
This is Keith in Mind, Keith Neely from Century 21 Redwood. We love Channel 18 and Life Around the Lake.
Wait a minute, before you judge. So you're thinking that I forgot my boat because it didn't move when I was taking off. Well, me and Norm Allen have a special show for you today, so come on back in, I'll show you what we're going to do today. As you can see, we're not going fishing on the boat today, but we're still going fishing. I've been getting a lot of comments from people stopping me along the way say, Louie, I don't have a boat. What can I do? I want to get out there and enjoy the opportunity before it gets too cold. So where do I begin? Well, let me show you what we have planned today. Folks, we're going up fishing around the lake, the main lake. There's so many spots that you could actually fish that would give you the opportunity to catch a fish, any type of fish. Mostly it's going to be panfish, hopefully a crappie and a bass here and there, but there is fish in those points that we'll be able to reach. We all know the main ones. You got the dam, you got the point, the little marina, big marina, Ramsey Beach, and the back gate. But there's a few other hidden gems out there. We're gonna go ahead and give it a shot. I'll be honest with you, I really haven't done this quite often because, you know, I do have a boat and I take out the boat when I can, but that's where I started when I first moved there. I didn't have a boat and I went around the edges and I was catching fish, so you know, it kind of pushed me in that direction. But it's a lot of fun. Easy to, if you're taking your kids, your wife, son, or daughters, or whatever, grandkids, it's easy because you could go. It's very accessible. They could sit down, run around, and if they get bored or whatever the reason it could be, have a picnic. That's always good. It's good to eat. So let's zoom in here, and I'll show you the preparation of the tackle that we're taking out in this adventure. So, folks, as you can see, I'm going to try to keep it simple because we're going to be going in and out of the truck a lot. So I'm keeping it, you know, just easy access and easy movement so you could enjoy your time too. I'm taking 3 rods, as you can see right here. 3 rods, that's good enough for me. This is what I'm starting off with this morning. If you see my shows before, you see me use this little jig here, jig head with a black and chartreuse tail. So I'll be starting with that. I'm going to give this a shot too. This is all spinning rod combinations here, folks. Okay, as you can see, that little tail, same thing as a jig head with a curly tail, a little longer. Give them something different to take a look at. And here's the what I am trying to see. This is a what we call a stick bait, jerk bait type deal, but this is actually gonna, when I cast it out there, and when I start reeling it, it's gonna go down. As you can see, it's small, so it ain't gonna go down too much. Usually the points that we're gonna be fishing, they're about maybe 2-3 foot of water at best, so you don't want to go too deep in there with this type of a lure. Okay, so that's why you got to maintain them small and see what's up. So let me show you a couple other things here. This is the tackle box. This is where everything's gonna come from. Hopefully, what I've selected to start produces fish, and I could just keep on going in that direction. If that jerk bait that we talked about, if this one here, if that doesn't produce, that's probably the first one that I'll start changing and try something different and go to you know, one of these worms. You know, you've seen this before in my show, but something small like that, something that the fish could, the type of fish we're fishing for will, you know, go ahead and hit. Of course, I got to try this one too today. I don't know why, but I think this color might work today. So you may say, well, where do I begin? Where do I go? I know the main points that you were talking about, but what about all those other hidden gems that are out there? Well, if you don't have one already, you have the Lake of the Woods directory. That I think they give you one when you first move in, or if not, you should buy one. The proceeds, I think they're about $10-15. They go to the fire and rescue place here that we have. I think you can, or at the fire and rescue location. Don't quote me on that, but I know you can pick it up in one of those two. I forget which one, maybe even both. But good to have. Let me show you where we're beginning. You know, this part of the directory here, it shows you, you know, the lots and the houses and all that. But it also has pictures of the lake and how it goes into the coves and stuff like that. Well, that's what we're going to be concentrating on. We're not going on people's docks. That's their private property. I'm not doing that. We're going to be going into what they call like the pump house, or you know, just common areas that all of us could use to the lake for those people that are going on the edges. So again, give it a shot. If you have one of these at home, it's good to have. A lot of information in here, and it tells you where to go and those little creeks and nooks and creeks that are out there that you could use. So anyways, keep that in mind. Of course, your tackle, you know, your accessories, your scissors, pliers, and knives. Again, don't leave home without it when you go fishing, because you could definitely, and just your basic towel. One last thing here. You've seen this before in my show, I believe. Protect your gear. This is, I think it's like $5. If that, your rods and reels are, you know, kind of expensive if you choose to. These things just slide on them, and it protects the eye of the rod, so like that they don't break or stuff like that. The tips and so forth of your fishing rod. That's all it is. You just put it in there. It keeps it from moving around. I definitely use this all the time when I'm putting my rod and reel on the inside my truck, because it gets moved around as a you know, you drive to a location and so forth. And just lay it down and you're good to go. So let's get ready. Let's go out there and let's catch some fish. All right, folks, we just got to a first stop. We're right off Lakeview by the Harper's Ferry's mailbox. I don't know if this is where I'm at. As you can see, they got a bench here. So this is a very comfortable place for you to begin your fishing adventures. So let's see what's going on here. Right now, this is about a foot deep to maybe 2 to 3, no more than that. The vegetation, you got some leaves that are starting to fall in the water and so forth. Not too much grass or anything at this point, so I shouldn't be getting too much hung up at this time. Again, we're in this is like October the 2nd or the 3rd, so the grass is starting to die off a little bit. So let's give it a shot, see what happens. And by the way, in case you were wondering, I am starting out with the a jig head with the chartreuse color. We're looking for some panfish, crappie, pretty much anything that will bite, that will take it. You got the sun rising a little bit. And of course, I got a little twig. So what me and Norm are trying to do today for this particular show is we're going to be probably about 20 minutes at each location. If the fish are there, great. If not, we're moving on and covering water to another area. And because sometimes in places like this, the fish are either going to be there or they're not at that particular time. And you know, it's not like they got a lot of water to play with here. You know, this is kind of limited for them, so they're going to have to come and go as they please, of course. And but they do travel in these little shallow waters a lot, especially off the docks. Tell me this doesn't look beautiful, man. Look at the morning fog just rising and moving up. Sun's out. Believe it or not, it's starting to feel a little warmer already. It was 40 when I got in the car, me and Norm, and now it's about, it just feels warmer. I don't even know the temperature, but it is beautiful. Beautiful morning. You know, one thing that I don't think I've mentioned before, make sure you get yourself a good polarized pair of glasses. They do wonders for you. They don't catch fish for you, but it does let you see the water a lot clearer and what's out there. And right now I'm not seeing no fish around the edges here. I'm really not. Maybe when the sun comes up a little bit more, they'll move in because the water gets a little bit warmer. Speaking of warm water, I was out on the boat on Friday. Today is Monday, and the water temperature was between 74 and 76 degrees. The water temperature was, and so it's starting to cool off a little bit. I mean, when we started this, the water temperature was at one point, I think I registered 91 or 92, believe it or not. But it's starting to get a little bit cooler, the water, or a lot cooler by now. And we should be able to, you know, fishing will be better throughout the days, not just in the early mornings or late evenings as it does in the, you know, in the peak of the summertime. So with this jig, I'm just throwing it, and since I don't have a lot of water to work with, the depth, I'm just letting it sink very little, you know, and then as soon as it hits the water, I'm starting to reel nice and slow, retrieve, and see if we could get a panfish or something to hit. We're not looking for big fish today. We're just looking for a fish, period. And I recommend you do the same when you come fishing. Just be there, enjoy the day, try different things out, keep it fun. You know, every now and then you see, and I'm sure you've seen them before, especially if, you know, you're walking around the lake, areas, the beaches and so forth, but you say, oh, there's something that popped right there. But we have carp. We have carp in here. and they are pretty big. Oop, got a little nibble, not too big, panfish. But so we got carp in here, and they get big. I've seen them as big as, believe it or not, 30, 40 pounds easily. And they school. There's a lot of them that hang around together, especially in the edges of in these shallow waters. And not easy fish to catch. You got to really, honestly, I've never caught one of those. I did hook one by accident during a tournament, and we thought we had a big bass on, and it was a carp, you know. But besides that, they're not as easy to catch as you may think. I think you got to feed them corn. Folks, well, I'm going to go ahead and try this little minnow now that I have the one that I told you about. That when you cast it, it kind of floats there, and then when you start reeling it, it goes down 6 inches, you know, no more than a foot. So I'm kind of curious about this lure. I haven't used this in a long time, so let's see what happens today. The good thing about this type of lure is that since I'm fishing in shallow water here, it ain't going as deep, and so you're not really going to get hung up a lot, or you shouldn't anyways. You know, another thing about this type of fishing, you really don't have to get up too early, you know, because either they're here or they're not. You know, you don't have to get up super early and come out. But it is pretty, as you can see. You get to see the beautiful, you know, scenery and so forth, nice and quiet, you know. So. All right, let's try 2 or 3 more casts, and then we're out of here. We got a lot of water to cover. Hopefully the fish want to play. You know, folks, I said I was going to cast this 2 or 3 times and then we're out of here, but might as well try the other thing that I have rigged on too, that curly tail that I talked about. Just to give it a shot. Why not? You know, got nothing to lose, a lot to gain. We're now here at Cornwallis Beach. As you can see, gorgeous location here. Not too many people use this beach, actually. Don't know why, but it's a nice setup if you just want to be kind of, you know, have the beach to yourself and so forth. But one thing to remember, folks, when we do fish at on the beaches, you got to respect the people that are here, if anybody. You know, that's the swimming areas, so it's not really a fishing area. If there's kids and stuff like that out here, you don't want to, you know, get in their way or so forth. So keep that in mind. Another thing is during the week, less people out, you know, so this is a good time to come during the week and so forth. So let's get this, keep using this curly tail here and see what's going on here in the water. You know, in warmer days, there's nothing wrong with going into the water a little bit and fishing from the water. You see that and people doing that in rivers and so forth. So why not here? Clean water, beautiful water too. But I don't recommend that in the cold, okay? This for sure is a lot deeper here. I probably, where I cast it out, it's probably like 5 foot of water right there. Man, what a beautiful morning. Me and Mr. Norm Allen picked to come out and film a show. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. You know, if you haven't heard, I've been told, and we've seen actually, that we have 2 bald eagles on the lake right now. And we've seen them flying around. I don't think we've been able to put him on camera yet, but he's more than welcome to show up anytime, and we'll give him the opportunity to be on channel 18, TV 18. And actually, that will be the story. Will be about that. Whoa! Oh, was that beautiful? Oh, he broke that. Wow, that was a money shot. That's what they call the money shot. Wow. Boy. Folks, I am pretty confident that was a bass and not a panfish, which is, oh man. Oh boy. Cut. All right, folks, after regrouping, because I just lost a pretty nice fish, he broke my line, and not that I'm mad. I'm not going to say I'm mad or ticked off. It's just that because I saw the fish from my angle, so I know what it was, and I'm good with that as a fisherman. But it bothers me more, what bothers me is that I was not able to show you what was on that line, and that's what bothers me with not being able to present that fish to my audience. Let me tell you, I tie all my knots, all my line the night before. You know, be ready in the morning. Why do it now? The line that I'm using for this particular incident that happened is called braided line. It's actually stronger than your nylon lines, so there's no reason why it should have broke. Basically, is what I'm. No excuses. It is what it is. That's fishing. That's the beauty of it. But this line is the braided line. The design for it is they're actually thinner in diameter than the monofilament line, the traditional lines that we all know. In other words, like this particular line is 4-pound test line, but in diameter is 4-pound test line, in equivalent to, like, let's say a 10, 12, 14-pound monofilament, the clear one that we kind of grew up with and so forth. So, you know, it's just as strong as that, but a lot less thinner, which makes you cast longer, put a little weights, little lures like what we have in there, and so forth. So anyways, at least we got a bite, and they're here. So let's see let's go right back at it. Got a little bluegill on right now. He ain't little. This is actually a pretty good sized bluegill right here. Brain bluegill. Same family. Look at the colors in that. Isn't that gorgeous? Wow. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Let me get that hook out. Folks, this is good eating too. I'm not going to say, you know, keep them and stuff like that. That's up to you. That's your choice. But that is a beautiful. Man, look at that belly. All right. Of course, I bring a rag when I left it in the truck. Not that far of a walk, but when you're catching, you don't want to stop. Nice fish. Let's put him back. I just cast it out there, and as soon as it went down, I noticed that this lure was not working properly. because they felt it. It wasn't turning. I knew I had something hung up. If you, I mentioned this before, if you jerk the rod tip, it may loosen that weed or leaf off, and then you can continue working. If not, just bring it reel back in and start all over, because if this is not working properly, whatever lure you're using, they're just not going to hit it, and you feel that. So don't just let it sit there and waste time. So we're over here at Ramsey Beach. This is the second biggest beach park that we have in the community. As you know, we got the main one over there by the point, what they call the point, and then you have Ramsey Beach. During the summertime, this beach gets crowded also, but this is, I mean, I'm sure Mr. Norm will show you the whole vicinity, but there's a lot of places to fish out of here, and picnic tables, a beach, and so forth. So definitely keep this place in mind. We're hoping to, it's starting to warm up. As you can see, I already took my sweatshirt off. Don't get me wrong, when I say warm up, I'm talking it's still in the maybe high 50s now. We started at 40, it's probably like 54 right now. So let's catch a fish here and bring it to the screen. Folks, as you can see, my shirt says Coast Guard. In case you were wondering, I did 30 years in the Coast Guard, and I got stationed down here in Washington, D.C., and this is how I ended up in beautiful Lake of the Woods. So I'm representing. Hopefully I do good. Well, hopefully I'm doing good. Semper Paratus, always ready. Actually, the Coast Guard has been in the limelight lately because of, unfortunately, because of all the, you know, the hurricanes that we had in Puerto Rico and so forth, and other places that it hit. I think they made a big drug bust down in California somewhere, like kind of historic one. But they're doing great things, so I'm kind of happy that I surf with them. I don't know if you could picture, but it hasn't rained in a while, and you can see all the rocks. Usually the water is a lot higher over here, but it's been kind of dry. We have reached our final destination here for today. This is Turtle Island. The back gate is right there, as you can see, and we're gonna give this a shot here. And this is a very place that a lot of people fish here. They go for catfish and, you know, the same kind of fish that we go throughout the lake and so forth. But you do see a lot of people fishing out of here for whatever reason. The fish, maybe? We'll see. But let's see what we could do. This is called Turtle Island back here too, this old area. Like, that's what they call it. There is a lot of turtles. Well, folks, we reached the final destination for the show here, the spot here at the back gate. We had a great time, a lot of different looks, a lot of different views, different water clarities and depth that we hit in this progress. I think we stopped at 4 different spots. We caught other little fish here and there. So we enjoyed our time. Thank you for joining us. We're gonna go ahead and hopefully do another show of the other side of the lake, so you get to see what else is available. So enjoy this weather. Come on out and give it a shot. If you don't have a boat, bring your kids. As you can see, most of these spots have picnic tables and good parking areas. Some of them even have bathrooms for you, and you could have a picnic, eat something, you know, make a day of it if you like, or just come out for an hour, make it quick or before you go to work or so forth. So the opportunities are there, and once again, thank you for being and supporting Fishing with Louie, and we'll see you next time.